saucy side hustle.
And it's making some Montanans thousands of dollars.
Just now people are starting to talk about it and it's a little more okay.
We'll look into OnlyFans, a site stirring up some controversy.
Plus, traffic trouble.
This is a big project, big improvements coming to the community. But in the meantime, you know, construction can be a little bit of a burden.
Major construction projects causing drivers headaches.
And controversy at the Capitol. Lawmakers push two anti-transgender bills forward at the legislature while a pro-trans rally hits Billings with two women aiming to make a difference.
In an inclusive environment like 406 Pride is, it makes them feel welcomed to be able to try on these clothes and not feel judged.
The MTN News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger.
And I'm Andrea, Lutz. You've heard of TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, but there's another social media platform now going mainstream, attracting tens of thousands of new users every week.
It's called OnlyFans, and many Montanans are now turning to the platform as a new source of income.
But it is a controversial one. Well, that's because the site specializes in content produced by creators who upload pictures and videos for their fans. Tonight, our Diane Parker takes us inside this online world and introduces us to several of the Montanans making some serious cash despite criticism of how they're doing it.
More and more Montanans are monetizing sultry selfies via OnlyFans. It is the only 18+ social media platform that allows content creators of all genres, but it's no secret OnlyFans is best known for what it calls adult models. Those models are creating a local content economy.
When I was in Las Vegas, I did lots of extensions for like strippers. That makes them make more money if they have long, beautiful hair.
Now in Huntley, Montana, a new market emerges for stylist Candace Hasley. Extensions for Montana moms who have a saucy side hustle.
Just now people are starting to talk about it and it's a little more okay.
The internet subscription service is used primarily by people producing pornography. It also hosts content creators like physical fitness experts, and it's providing a boom to Montana's economy.
Opened a market that I didn't know I wanted to do or was any good at doing.
Kyle is a landscape photographer from Western Montana who's now taking professional nude photos for OnlyFans profile pics.
Without OnlyFans, I don't think people are going to be approaching me to have personal albums.
Kyle also has his own OnlyFans page focused on fitness. People pay for shirtless progress pics and advice. He banks up to $1,000 per month for his daughter's college savings, but he doesn't advertise it and is asked not to be identified.
The area I'm in, the social, cultural, and political climate, it's just best to keep that under wraps. It's still a fairly new phenomenon.
In Billings, we met one woman who certainly is not shy about this new phenomenon.
Hello.
Contractor by day, Cricket Miss Beezy by night. Charges $300 per video for custom partner content. Cricket started back in 2019 to boost her confidence and financial independence.
What would you say to the people that say that's inappropriate?
To each their own.
Whether you agree, there's no disputing. OnlyFans has many fans. The platform has more than 3 million content creators and over 220 million registered users. It took off during the pandemic.
Whatever you're selling, people will buy it.
Kylie Riley unofficially coaches creators in neighboring North Dakota on what to charge for a commodity you can't touch or hold.
For videos, if it gets more like kinks, I'd recommend women charging $10 to $13 per minute.
What is your favorite part?
Telling people that my pay for vacation and my pay for things for my kids.
Does your daughter know about it?
It's not something that I anticipate hiding from her as she gets older, but when she gets older, I would prefer her not pursue sex work of any sort.
It's a new way of making money and a platform taking a once dark profession from the closet into the light. In Billings, Diane Parker, MTN News.
Here's a look at Doppler radar from this evening. You see snow showers around Great Falls. Areas of rain continue here through central and southeastern Montana. A lot of this has started to shift away from the Billings area, and with the setting sun, we're losing the thunder and lightning that was rumbling through as we got into the evening hours of tonight. This system is going to wrap back around and create areas of snow as we get overnight. especially the lighter green shaded areas here in Bighorn County, Montana, here south of Billings. That's where we saw some of the higher accumulations. For Billings, and even on the west end, 1/4 of an inch, but at the airport, less than 1/10 of an inch. We did pick up some graupel and some ice pellets along the way, and a little bit of small hail right around Roundup. Forecast coming up.
Construction season is officially upon us. The Interstate 90 project from East Laurel to West Billings set to begin shortly. And here in Billings, some major construction's already underway near the 6th Street underpass.
It's projects like these that are sure to cause drivers plenty of headaches well into the summer. Our Phil Van Pelt takes a look at what you can expect.
Springtime in Montana also means construction time. And over here near 6th Street West and Underpass Avenue, there's some major work being done with a timeline that stretches out potentially into the fall.
The Underpass Avenue project is a road reconstruction project.
One sure sign of spring is construction.
We're working on 6th Avenue under the underpass, and then we're also reconstructing both intersections on the north and south side of the underpass.
There are currently road closures south of the underpass by Moose Lodge and the Reno Club. Olmsted is the public involvement manager for Dowell and said that there's plans for new turn signals, pedestrian crossing, and turning lanes, as well as one improvement that she says most of Billings will be thrilled to see.
Any Billings local knows the history that the Underpass Avenue or the 6th Avenue underpass has with flooding during any large rainstorm. And so a part of this project is actually to kind of tear out the road and improve the stormwater facilities that are under the road.
And part of that also includes work being done to the water main and that the infamous potholes will be fixed as well. But Olmsted mentioned that despite all of the work being done in the area, one public treasure is in no danger of going anywhere.
We do get a lot of people ask about the mural down there, and that will be preserved throughout the construction of the project too.
That's not the only project happening in town. Improvements are being made on I-90 from East Laurel to West Billings that include resurfacing and road safety enhancements. But as far as the underpass project goes, Olmsted said that the amount of work going into it means traffic will be slowed down for quite a while.
It'll probably be, pretty well into the fall by the time this project is done. Like I said, it's a big project and there's a lot of moving parts.
In Billings, Phil Van Pelt, MTN News.
Montana's beloved Clark Fork River, which flows through Missoula, is now in the top 10 of endangered rivers in the entire United States. The threat to the Clark Fork is in direct relation to the Smurfit Stone pulp mill in Frenchtown. That's been sending toxic contaminants into the river since 1957. Those toxins have been seeping into groundwater, harming fish and wildlife for decades. There are several efforts underway to make the river healthier, but the Clark Fork Coalition Executive Director says more has to be done to get it off the list.
Lawmakers moving closer to passing new legislation that would get construction on the controversial Northwestern Energy gas plant in Laurel moving again.
Well, that construction was recently halted after a judge revoked the plant's permit, saying the EPA failed to fully evaluate the plant's impact to air quality.
Despite a lot of opposition, the bill, which was introduced past deadline, passed a committee hearing on party lines. Tonight, our David J. has more on what it could mean for the Laurel plant and other projects.
Northwestern Energy tells us it has some work still going on, all in compliance with the judge's order. It has had an effect on workers. Meanwhile, there are some nearby neighbors that are pleased that construction has stopped. It's not just construction that's been halted at the Northwestern Energy gas plant. About 110 workers were laid off on Tuesday. The union says about 50 employees now remain.
Nobody likes to be laid off, and it's an impact on their families, it's an impact on the community, and it's depressing.
Jerry Jeffries with Boilermakers Local 11 says crews immediately stopped work on installing 18 smokestacks and 18 natural gas motors.
We are demobilizing and putting things away. No construction is going on. We're taking things down, putting them away, get them out of the weather so that they don't get damaged. That things that should have been installed.
They had been waiting to hear what would happen after Yellowstone County District Judge Michael Moses ordered the DEQ to conduct further analysis on the environmental assessment and vacated the air quality permits. Some Laurel residents are applauding the judge's order.
I'm concerned about Laurel. I'm concerned about the neighborhood south of the river, and I'm concerned about everyone who's downwind. Today, the wind's in my back, so it's the people southeast of here that's going to get it.
In response to the court, a bill in the Montana legislature passed a House committee on Monday, stating that an environmental review may not include an evaluation of greenhouse gas emissions or corresponding impacts to the state or beyond its borders.
Montana has not enacted carbon regulations. Yet, despite the clear direction, the court have decided that MEPA is now a tool for regulation of carbon.
But opponents, including Steve Crum, argued otherwise, saying greenhouse gases need to be evaluated and not ignored.
In the DEQ permit, they failed to discuss the real hazards of the permit, which they probably should have.
In Laurel, David J., MTN News.
A controversial bill to ban gender-affirming medical care for transgender youth is once again making its way through the Montana legislature. Senate Bill 99 was sent back to lawmakers, with Governor Greg Gianforte asking for some amendments in order to sign it. The Senate made those changes, and now the bill is on its way back to a final vote in both chambers. But also happening today, a bill surrounding drag shows for children. It passed the Senate. Lawmakers amended the bill to remove the word drag and replace it with adult-oriented performances in front of minors. That bill now goes back to the House. Meanwhile, supporters gathered in Billings for a pro-trans rally. Alina Howder introduces us to two women looking to do their part to give trans kids and adults a safe place to find clothes that fit their gender.
Despite the wave of anti-trans legislation that the state has seen, more and more resources for gender diverse and trans folks are popping up in Billings, like this trans closet here at 406 Pride. The clothes here are free for anyone who needs gender-affirming pieces.
For Billings native Bailey Desper, finding her identity in Montana hasn't been easy.
It caused a lot of mental issues, just kind of trying to fit into the community as somebody that was in what I call a cocoon stage.
Desper is transgender. She's been on her transition journey for over 5 years and hopes to start gender-affirming surgery soon.
I came out in 2018, and in that time frame, it was right before COVID, and there weren't any resources here in Billings that were developed.
The LGBTQ plus community has evolved since Desper first came out. The latest example, Out of the Closet, a partnership between Desper, 406 Pride, and Katie Harrison of Sustaina Billings.
Cool. Well, thank you. We want to make sure that everyone in Billings has access to someplace safe to just access clothes that is so much a part of our identity.
All the pieces here are free for anyone who needs gender-affirming clothes, something that Desper knows means a lot.
Somebody that's trans, that's first starting out their journey, can actually come in and feel affirming, and being able to try clothes on for the first time is huge.
2023 has been a record year for anti-trans legislation across the country, Montana included.
This is what democracy looks like!
It's why Desper and others took to the county courthouse lawn Tuesday to protest Senate bills like SB 99.
Bills like Senate Bill 99 are causing some complications because they're trying to relate me to a minor. I am not a minor, and that's something that I'm trying to make them understand, is that, I do deserve to be able to feel authentic.
I have friends and family who are transitioning or trans or whatever, and to watch them be stripped of that would be really detrimental.
We are here, and we refuse to be erased.
Out in the open and out of the closet, unless it's this one at 406 Pride. In Billings, Alina Howder, MTN News.
Fox News will pay Dominion Voting Systems $787 million as part of a settlement to avoid a trial that would have put its top talent on the witness stand. The voting machine company's defamation lawsuit claimed that Fox damaged its reputation by airing claims from then-President Trump's attorneys saying that Dominion helped rig the 2020 presidential election for Joe Biden. Dominion had been seeking $1.6 billion in damages, saying that Fox knowingly aired false claims about their voting machines in order to boost ratings.
Still to come on the MTN News at 10 on Q2. Snacks all around. A full self-serve convenience store is on its way to Billings. We'll take you inside.
Then a little later in sports, we go one-on-one with Montana coaching legend Mick Durham as he steps away from basketball for the first time in nearly 50 years.
The MTN 10 o'clock news continues right after this.